Key point 1. True friendship allows us to develop ourselves. True friendship enables us to establish connections that propel us to greater heights. It also gives us a place to find solace when things are not going as expected. However, every friendship will come with unique problems and challenges, and we must be willing and ready to tackle them. Aminatou Sow and Ann Friedman met in circumstances that weren't extraordinary, yet they made the best of their first meeting. This shows that we can establish a big friendship with anyone, anywhere. As beautiful as friendship is, we must realize it will not always be rosy. We'll cross boundaries and make mistakes, but we must all see it as a learning process. Show genuine interest in your friends' lives and listen without interrupting. Aminatou Sow and Ann Friedman have come together with their personal stories to tell us why it's essential to have a big friendship, the stress of maintaining one, and that it's okay to let go of friends later in life. And this summary will give you insights about creating and sustaining a true friendship. Are you ready? Let's go. Key point 2. Friendships and what they mean to you might fluctuate. We can learn a lot by observing how a person speaks about their friends. And we can also learn a lot about friendship from a joint recounting of how it all began. We can understand their biases and sentiments by checking whether they are new or old friends. The feeling of being indispensable is the peak achievement of a big friendship. We are all molded by the individuals we know, cherish, and interact with. How our friends shape our behaviors, emotions, and mindsets in our everyday lives. When we maintain friendships with people over time, they can also influence how we view our bodies, how we spend our finances, how we enjoy ourselves, and the political stances we adopt. Significant friendship encourages us to develop in response to one another in intentional and unconscious ways. Ann Friedman and Aminatou Sow met at a friend's house, and their meeting was not just a casual one, but a divine one that would shape their lives. They came together at a point in their lives when they were both somewhat uncertain, navigating how to chart a path for where they were aiming to go. And in each other, they found someone who already grasped who they wished to become. It's never too late to establish a great friendship as long as you set your mind to it. There is a common belief that individuals outgrow the urge to make new friends. We think we will get to that stage in our lives when we marry and have children, or get a high-pressure job and watch our leisure time diminish. At this point, we settle on concentrating on the people we already know and disregard the chance of making new acquaintances. While this is somewhat accurate, we must never forget that we'll still find ourselves looking around and wishing we had more friendships based on deep, mutual understanding. If you prioritize only your romantic relationships, who is going to hold your hand through a breakup? Aminatou Sow, Ann Friedman. Key point 3. True friendship is understanding. When we are real friends with someone, we must understand that it's okay to let our friendships slide to bolster the other areas of our lives. True friends will be understanding of such occasional neglect. Whenever we're trying to get that promotion at work or sort our lives out, it's okay, as a friend, to step back a little. Friends shouldn't stop us from having a personal life. Anyone who tries to stop you from having a private life in the name of friendship isn't a friend. As Aminatou Sow stated when discussing her early friendship with Ann Friedman, a new friendship requires investment, especially time. If friends stop hanging out regularly, they will fade away from each other's lives. Although long-established friends can remain close despite not seeing each other for months, new friendships need consistent nurturing. When choosing a friend, we must be conscious of social moochers. Social moochers are those individuals who constantly lament their lack of companionship, but never facilitate opportunities for others to spend time with them. Good friends always reach out to each other without waiting for one person to make the first move. We must define a structure for the relationship we want in our lives. Having a structure helps us to achieve many things, especially when it comes to making friends. Men particularly have the habit of organizing a get-together over a football match or a house party. Create a similar structure with your friends to get to know each other better and share more ideas. With structure comes the ability to care for each other. Caring for each other doesn't have to be extraordinary. The little acts of love you do for each other define your friendship. Those moments of care and love are there to solidify your friendship, but they are also there to remind you how far you've come. When things are tight and scruffy between you and your friend, these are the moments you look back to make amends. True friendship provides safety for all parties. When you feel safe around someone you love, it becomes easier to love them more. Key point 4. The opportunity to choose our family. Sharing our fears with strangers is such a hard thing to do sometimes. We're afraid others will use the things we share against us, and we try as much as possible to avoid such situations. However, sharing something with someone who won't use it against you is bliss. Amy Nadeau had formed a new pillar of strength in Anne Friedman. When she couldn't share things with her boyfriend, who wasn't as sympathetic as Anne, she realized the true importance of friendship. Her relationship with Anne offered her a sense of security that encouraged her to consider leaving her long-standing romantic partnership. Sometimes we get to choose our family because as we grow older, we meet people we wish we had met when we were younger. Stay connected with your friends, even with just a quick message, to keep in touch regularly. When many people think of a family, they typically think of marriage and raising children. But we should look beyond that. Our families can be more than just our genetic kin. If we truly love someone and they reciprocate that love, they become our family. We often get so lost in the functional aspects of our friendships that we forget that things might not end up smoothly all the time. We tend to focus on how well we enjoy our friendship without assessing why it worked so well. Although we can argue that we don't choose friends for their potential to advance our careers, the fact is that friendships might lead to significant success. Friends are why we gain more self-assurance to tackle our work or make that courageous decision to change. Friends inspire us to become more and achieve more without losing our identity. We should adopt the SHINE theory, a long-time commitment to encourage a friend to reach their best and to rely on their assistance. It's a consensus among friends to bring out the best in the friendship and not allow insecurities to fracture the connection. The SHINE theory instructs us to celebrate when our friends succeed and be there for them when they struggle. Key point 5. Life comes at us fast. As we grow older, we change and behave differently. More responsibilities mean we'll have less time for ourselves and even less time for our friends. At this stage, we become overstretched, and things become somewhat challenging. Life naturally leads to numerous changes, and these shifts can impact the base of our friendship. You cannot remain the person you were a decade ago, nor will you be the same in the coming 10 years. For a big friendship to survive, it must recognize and adjust to these changes. There are minor strains that pop up in the early days of our friendship, and there are bigger ones that come as we grow older. These stretches are typical and should be expected. Our willingness to stay afloat during the trying times makes a true friendship. A resilient friendship involves mutual stretching to find ways to accommodate evolving differences. Stretching goes both ways, the good and the bad. Like physical exercise, stretching feels great when starting but can feel challenging when fatigued. At times, the effort to bridge the gaps in friendship extends beyond simple stretching and can seem like a significant effort. Frequently, it's challenging to discern between stretching and straining. However, if one person in the friendship is persistently stretched more than the other, it has shifted to a strain. Show enthusiasm for the things your friends are excited about. The friendship begins to deteriorate when the two individuals aren't stretching at the same pace or with equal intensity. It's only through stretching that we become fortified and improve ourselves. When we have stretched ourselves, it's not consistently a pleasant experience. Still, looking back, we see that our challenges, not our tranquil moments, have made us stronger, more insightful, and more resilient. Key point 6. A network of mutual friends goes a long way. Aminatou Sow and Ann Friedman shared many things, including mutual friends. They understood the importance of having mutual friends and how they can strengthen a relationship. Having a mutual friend can lead to a three-way or casual friendship. Either way, it helps create a better atmosphere. You become a huge happy family when you get close to your friends. More date nights, enjoyable gatherings, and opportunities to expand. One way to keep in touch with mutual friends is through the web. The internet has evolved considerably, making it easier to stay connected. You expose yourself to the realities of other people's worlds through social networks. You get more support because your friends' friends would want to patronize you. Also, the internet helps us overlook long-distance friendships because we can still keep in touch. Even the most significant friendships need other outlets because a lone friend cannot be everything you need, as much as you might like to think so. Having mutual friends symbolizes your interconnection and the necessity of a community for wellness, joy, and achievement. Be inclusive and make sure everyone in the group feels valued. Treat the people your friends love like family to extend your respect for your friends. A network of friends gives us better connections. It's perfectly okay to befriend some people by what they offer you. As discussed earlier, as much as we may like to deny it, we all use our friends to better our lives. A friend network can make or break a friendship. That's why we must be cautious about the kind of friends we share with our close friends. Friendship is a real deal insurance policy against the hurricanes of life. Aminatou Sow, Ann Friedman. Key point 7. The willingness to learn and unlearn. Let's discuss subtle factors that influence how our friendships work. One essential aspect is skin color. What? How is it connected to relationships? You'll see. Aminatou Sow, as an African American, was more conscious of her skin color than Ann Friedman, who was white. Black people living in America pay more attention to their skin color because of racism and segregation. One aspect of friendship with white people that black people are cautious of is that they could be subjected to racism at any moment, either by mistake or an intentional slur. What's more painful is that these friends have no idea how much it hurts, so they cannot truly feel sorry. When Aminatou Sow went with Ann Friedman to a get-together planned for Ann's friends, she realized she was the only black person at the party. She felt very uneasy and out of place. She was surprised to notice that Ann had no other black friends, and Aminatou started to question her importance in her friend's life. We're typically vigilant about what strangers might say to us, but we often lower our defenses around familiar people. If you're white and your social gatherings are exclusively white, kindly note that this might send certain messages to your black friends, potentially causing them significant discomfort. You'll gradually drift if you fail to make your friends comfortable around you. Racism is rooted in a complex system constructed, perpetuated, and fortified over time. Racism isn't just about harboring hatred towards other races. It's much more extensive. It's a deep-rooted societal and political issue embedded in every facet of our lives. That's why you must ensure that you're open enough about your views on racism with your friends. If you're Caucasian, let the people of color in your life know that you acknowledge the differences and that you're willing to learn and unlearn many things. Key point 8. Appreciate your friends' intelligence. We must always appreciate how brilliant our friends are. It should be a collective agreement between all the parties involved to respect each other's contributions and opinions about many things. Ann Friedman and Aminatou Sow were captivated by each other's way of structuring thoughts and insights from the beginning of their bond, and they were keenly interested in learning each other's perspectives on everything. This feeling has made them grow intellectually in real time and gain a clearer understanding of the world around them. This similar feeling is the reason behind the popularity of book clubs. It explains why friends come together to volunteer for charities or collaborate to campaign for a political figure. That sense of mutual commitment stems from trusting in your friend enough to endorse their beliefs. Be a source of joy in your friends' lives. To share ideas, we must keep in touch with our friends. Thanks to the internet, staying in touch with as many people as possible from anywhere in the world is now possible. If we fail to keep in touch, we'll find it hard to sustain the momentum we've created to grow our friendship. Keeping in touch keeps us in the loop. The real danger in how people perceive your friendship isn't in narrating a public tale about it. It's in the failure and inability to express the private one. Friendship is a complicated and tough journey reserved only for people who genuinely love each other. Friendship is a series of life lessons. What distinguishes a normal friendship from a big one is the ability to enjoy the good times, accept mistakes during the bad times, and look back to the good times to overcome the bad ones. When we go through rough patches, our problems might feel highly specific to us and almost impossible to solve. But we must realize that millions of people like us are also trying to figure things out. It's normal to have rough patches, but our friendship truly defines our ability to come back together to make things work. Key point 9. It's okay not to be friends with someone forever. Many experts assert that the age range of 30 to 50 often marks a challenging phase in friendships. It's a period when the ability to spend spontaneous and unscheduled time with friends feels like a rare privilege. Some people are lucky enough to have time for friends in their mid-30s. However, most people do not, and it's understandable. It might seem selfish that you're barely available for those who were there when you were younger, but the truth remains that with each passing day, you have more responsibilities, making it hard to create time. As explained by humorist David Sedaris, he heard one woman explain that life is like a stovetop. One burner is for family, another for friends, the third for health, and the last is for work. If we leave all 4 burners running, we'll soon run out of gas. So, to save gas, we'll have to switch off 1 or 2 burners. Some people can switch off work or family, but most times, people end up off switching friends. Still, turning off the friendship burner carries ramifications for every facet of life. Without friends, it becomes tougher to navigate challenging periods. Friendship plays a huge role in our mental health. The lack of friendship often leads to feelings of isolation. Regularly check in on your friend's mental and emotional well-being. And what about loneliness? The truth is that lonely people don't necessarily lack friends. It's in the inability to have great friends with whom we want to share everything. If you have a friend with whom you can share a big friendship, loneliness becomes a thing of the past. A big friendship is built on love, trust, belief, and the ability to overcome obstacles. Once we can achieve these things, we will have created a solid foundation for a big friendship to survive. Did you know? Harvard Business Review notes that experiencing loneliness can reduce one's lifespan comparably to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Conclusion. Aminatou Sow and Anne Friedman's coming together proves many things, one of which is that true friendship knows no boundaries. An instant connection between them made them realize there was no going back. A big friendship can happen anywhere, between anyone. It doesn't choose based on skin color, religious identity, or cultural background. And it doesn't discriminate against ideologies or personal beliefs. When we talk about true friendship, we must understand the sacrifices involved. It's not a smooth journey, and we must mentally prepare ourselves. We all need friends, regardless of what's going on in our lives. Friends help us to become better people, overcome problems, and learn how to care for someone other than us. Friendship is essential for our growth in life, so we must choose our friends carefully. Establishing a real friendship requires a conscious effort from a similar intensity among all the parties involved. We must be willing to accept and support each other, especially in trying times. Big friendship requires love, dedication, determination, and the willingness to learn. And that's why we must be there for each other at all times, even when we're far away. You are unique, And so is every current or potential friend. Learn about your differences and be self-aware enough to understand the kind of friendship you are interested in. This way, you'll become a better friend and contribute better in a relationship. Try this. Whenever you feel a strain between you and your friends, plan a getaway or a short trip where you only enjoy each other's company without discussing what might be wrong. These moments help you to rediscover why you were friends in the first place.